I've been gone for a minute, now I'm back with the jump off. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Candidly Cantrice. If you care anything about this channel, you know I was gone for a moment's time, but I am back. Obviously, 2020 has been insane. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. Kind of what I've experienced, things I've learned about myself, how I've coped during this time, and kind of get some feedback from you guys and see where you guys have been at for the last 9 months. My bad. So I'm gonna start from the top because I haven't been here for a while. So, of course, Candidly Cantrice is a place where I come and just share my experiences of different things that I've been through. Anything that I share with you is specifically anything that I've experienced. So it's my feelings on it, my perspective on it, and obviously all of us have been through, we may have been through similar things, but we may have processed them differently. So this is a judgment-free zone. If you have an opinion about anything that I share on here, I pray that you just present it respectfully and be respectful of other people who may share as well. That's the thing about YouTube though, like, even though this was something heavy on my heart to do, I'm like, people's ruthless on YouTube. Like, you have to make a disclaimer for everything. Literally, I watch YouTube videos and I'm like, was that even necessary to say? But yes, because people will be in your comments talking crazy. So I said that to say, anything that I share in this video doesn't take away from or supposed to add to anything that anybody's been through, or to make my situation seem anything more or less than what it is. Obviously, there are a lot of people who have dealt with very harsh circumstances during this time, and I don't take that away from anyone. I've definitely been praying for everyone, praying for my family, because this has definitely been a difficult time. Death is very present in this time. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into this video. Right, so when Corona was first introduced, I know me and a few people, I'll speak for myself, I wasn't taking it as serious in the beginning, as maybe as I should have, but maybe because it wasn't being presented to me in a serious way either. So in the beginning, it was jokes and it was coronavirus, it's getting real, so I don't know if anyone, anyway, y'all know I get sidetracked very easily, but it is a very serious thing, has been detrimental to a lot of people's lives. In the beginning, I believe that even though he wasn't tested, I do believe that my dad had the virus and he has underlying health issues. So I'm thankful that he is okay. A lot of people, weren't as fortunate, and I'm sorry to anyone who has lost someone due to COVID this year. So if we rewind a little bit, a video that I shared with you guys, I was talking about how, 2020 is my year, and my word for the year is deserve, and I deserve to be happy, and I deserve, and all of this deservedness, which I felt. I thought I was going to be traveling and experiencing new things. None of that was happening at all, obviously. So the year started off, exciting. Then it started to decline. I'm not going to recap, all the events that took place that we know of. But so, it was a new year. I was working. I was feeling good. February came around. Your girl bought a car because your girl was on a bus. I don't recommend the bus. to anyone. No, if you have to, I mean, public transportation has been a part of my life since early in my life. So I know the struggles of it. So I'm always blessed when I do have a car. I go in and out of seasons of cars. I do want to end that with this one. Like, I just want to constantly have an operating vehicle. So anyway, so I bought me a car in February. And I swear it was like 2 weeks later, it was like the road is shut down. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, we have to stay in the house. So with that, I was home with my 3 kids every day, all day. And we were trying to figure out school. For a while, school was on pause. And then once we had to get back into it, we had to figure that out. So I'm trying to help everybody. It was my daughter's senior year, my oldest child. So, things were kind of sour in that area because there was like no graduation, no prom. And so, but if it was to happen to any of my kids, she was the perfect kid for it to happen to, because she's very impartial about a lot of things. I'm gonna say almost everything. So like, she take it and roll with it, and that's just how she is. That's just her personality, and I'm thankful for that, because it was it was a stressful time, and then her not being upset about it kind of eased it. But we still celebrated her, my family and I. We still celebrated her and made sure she felt special, with a job well done and with her accomplishment. And so that was a thing. So school and helping everybody, making sure everyone's up and not too laxed and all of that. And then them being home all the time. So lights are always on. Internet is always being used. Water is always being used. Somebody's always hungry. Insane. So, when they gave out the stimulus was very helpful for me. Because I didn't lose my job. I didn't have to put work on hold. I was able to work from home. So I'm very blessed in that aspect. And so when they gave out, because the food situation, because I was used to them being gone for a certain amount of hours, then coming home, and it was dinner, you have a snack, and then it's dinner time, and then y'all back out the house the next morning. So everybody being home all day, the food was like, yeah, we're not making it through this week, through this day. So groceries was, a thing, and I didn't want to go to the store frequently. So, fast food became a thing because it was just easy to get in a car that I had just bought and go, get a 4 for $4 for all of us or whatever. And, you just begin to roll with the punches. But, in the mix of the hit after hits, there were blessings. I was blessed to have that car because I would get in that car and go grab me a large coffee from McDonald's and park at the park and sit there for who knows how long some days, just to, get myself together, to refocus, to, just woosah for a second, and so that I can go back into the house and, be a great person for my kids and be available to them and be available to my work and different things like that. So that was definitely tough. There was a lot of people that I was worried about in regards to COVID because, my parents, my grandmother, I literally only have one grandparent left, and it's my grandma, my mother's mom. And she's older. She has underlying health issues. I have aunts who have, I don't never say aunts. I have aunts. Don't judge me. This is a judgment-free zone, okay? Who have underlying health issues. And so, I was beginning to worry, like, obsessively about everyone. Then I was worried about myself, because I'm the one going outside to get the food and, get the household products, the toilet paper and the hand sanitizers and And so I'm like, what if I contracted? Then what if I died? Then my kids are. So I was like obsessively worrying about this virus, affecting us in a deadly manner, obviously. And it was wearing me out. So I had to really step back and pray and give that to God and say, if that is your will, may I accept that. Obviously, death is a very hard thing. I was just thinking about it the other day. We prepare for birth and we kind of have a roundabout time when someone may be born, and death is just the complete opposite. It feels like someone's just being ripped away from you. And even if you do, someone has a terminal illness or something like that, and they may only have 3 to 6 months to live, and then they live. I don't know what that's like. I've experienced other people go through that. I don't know what it is personally, but I had a father-in-law who was ill, and they said, he didn't have this much time to live, and then he lived, I want to say, for years after that. And so when they said it to us again, we're like, but then he actually passed away. So even still, it's still like just ripping someone from you. So death is a hard thing to take. In between my family and my kids' dad's family, we've experienced a lot of death, a lot in the past years. And so I'm very open with my kids about death. And if this is getting to, because a lot of people, are uncomfortable talking about death. If that's something that makes you uncomfortable, you might want to fast forward this part of the video if you are still here. And I appreciate you if you are. But I'm very open with my kids about death, about when I die, at least, or making them aware that death is a part of life. It's not this distant thing that happens to older people. That is a real right now thing. And so always talking to them about death and for them to stick together, just different things, just very open about it. Even last night I was telling my kids, like, maybe y'all should have a code word for like if I die, when I die, whoever knows first, y'all will have to tell other people, your siblings. So maybe y'all should have a code word to say, like, this means mom has passed away. But I always tell them my funeral is not allowed to be sad, which of course you're going to be sad because I'm gone, but I'm going home to be with Jesus. Like, y'all take that and hold on to it however y'all need to. So I'm always praying over them and different things like that. Anyway, so it's a blessing that that's not a thing right now, that I'm still here for them because I have so much work to do for the Lord, for the kids. Like, there's stuff that I have to make up for being a teen parent. Like, oh, I get it now. So, okay. And it's kind of, some stuff is like, time has passed, but, because my kids are older, but I have a lot of work to do, basically. So just in the pandemic, there's other things that life is still happening. Like my dryer went out, and of course I tried to fix it myself, and it probably really was fixed. To anybody who's watching this who knows me personally with this whole dryer situation, I changed the thermal fuse. Y'all probably don't care about this. I'm so sorry. I changed the thermal fuse on my dryer because it was working, but it wasn't heating up. When I changed my thermal fuse, it wasn't getting the clothes as dry as it should have. And so, I'm cleaning out the vent, the little foil thing, right? So it's not getting hot. So I have somebody, a family friend, come look at it. He does his thing, it was rolling. Then all of a sudden it stopped spinning. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I get a new washer and dryer. My washer was okay, it was whatever. It was all right. Okay. So I get a new washer and dryer courtesy of my mom because she loves me. It was my Christmas present. Okay. Dang, I'm not spoiled or anything like that. It was for Christmas. And then the dryer still wasn't working. I'm like, this is a brand new dryer. So I had to go into the hood. I'm not sure what the technical terms of these parts. So there was a lot of lint in that part. So I'm thinking it would just be in the hose part, we're going to call it. But it wasn't. It was in the hood. But I'm scared of birds. So I don't know why, but I just felt like there would be a bird in there. So I was scared to take it out. But I did. And my jar is working fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anywho, so life is still happening. Y'all know I run off on tangents. I'm sorry. So obviously life is still happening. I really used, once I got over the initial shock of everything, I had to refocus myself, pray, give everything over to God. And my friend Elle, I think she's, besides God, I think we both have been helping each other through this pandemic because we keep each other laughing and we keep each other grounded, in the word, what the word says, what God says, what God has promised us, and different things of that nature. So shout out to Elle because something's wrong with her. Anyway, and then there's my family, of course, who... And what's funny? What I learned, my kids are really cool kids. Outside of me having to parent them, they're legit dope kids. And I'm like, oh, I get to be your mom. Then be like, oh, I get to be yours. No, I don't care. Parenting is an extremely challenging thing for the kid. I'm gonna just put that out there. But I love them little people so much. They are really cool and they are funny. Anyway, shout out to my kids. I don't think they watch my videos, but Desi might. But yeah, they're mad dope. But anyway, this video is probably getting long. Let's see. I don't have no timer. I do. We are 18 minutes. So I've just been blessed enough to have a roof over our heads, have food on the table, have a safe place to provide for my kids, a healthy place for them to live. A healthy environment for them to live in. That's really important to me. I'm thankful for my job, that I'm able to still provide for my family. And so, prayer and being in my word, definitely YouTube has helped. Watching The Office all over again has helped. So different things like that. Taking a moment, just having a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, talking to friends. Like I said, sitting at the park and just woo-sawing, helped, some days. And so, what are some things that you have learned about yourself? Oh, did I tell y'all? I didn't realize I'm not as patient as I thought. So I'm working on increasing my patience. But anyway, what are some things that you've learned about yourself or that you've done to cope with the pandemic? You can share whatever, your hardships, your blessings down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. The kid is back, so every Friday, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on so you are alerted when I drop a new video. And I will talk to you guys next time. Yeah, well, let's see. I don't have no timer. I do. We are 18 minutes, so let me wrap this up.